Hello, today we have a reaction for Ash versus Yugi Death Battle. I've been waiting for like 3 days so that they have time to get all the views and stuff like that. I can't wait to react to this. First time seeing it. This is actually a good matchup. I'm surprised they haven't done this before. I'm gonna like as always, and please support the official content and everything here because Death Battle is a great channel. I'm glad they survived the Rooster Teeth shutdown and everything. This is one of my favorite things on the planet, and if they didn't come up with Death Battle first, I would probably have thought of it because I love pitting anime characters against anime characters, but they also pit video game characters against each other and everything. And I haven't really watched a lot of death battles in the last 4 or 5 years, but I've been a fan of the channel ever since they were Screw Attack, and I have watched a lot and a lot over 100 death battles. It's been a while. I kind of let them build up and then I watch them in one block, but now that I'm a streamer, probably going to react to some of them, especially like matchups like this, like two of my favorite childhood anime characters. Okay, so you got Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. I'm one of the original Pokemon fans, 1997, all that stuff. And I had, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and of course, Red and Blue when they first came out. Blue was my favorite, and I caught 151 Pokemon. I also, on Silver, when it came out, I caught all 251 Pokemon. So it's this is all fun. And Yu-Gi-Oh! King of Games, okay? I was one of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that has ever played that card game. I bought the first decks, the Kaiba and the Yugi starter decks. I bought all the cards. I was one of the first people to have Mirror Force. I was one of the first 1,000 cards of Mirror Force to ever come out. Someone stole it from me like 9 years later. It's sad. Dark Magician was my favorite dual monster, and I had a Dark Magician deck. It was pretty formidable. Trying to think of anything else, guys. Yugi went over 200 episodes. It was very in depth. It's a deeper anime than Pokemon, but Pokemon is much more kid friendly. Thus, Pokemon overall is the bigger concept. Plus, the author of Yu-Gi-Oh died a couple years ago. I even bought a giant Yu-Gi-Oh painting from Dominic Glover. I don't know why I was blanking. Dominic Glover is one of my good friends, one of the best anime artists ever, and DC artists and Marvel artists. He's just fantastic all the way through. But anyway, yeah, the author of Yu-Gi-Oh passed away, sadly, and I'm not sure about the author of Pokemon, but yes, one of the original Pokemon fans, one of the original Yu-Gi-Oh fans. I know almost everything about them. Now, I don't know what they're gonna say because Yu-Gi-Oh, not Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon continued a lot after I stopped watching it. Okay, after the first two generations, I kind of lost interest with Ash being the eternal loser of the Elite Four and everything. And I know that they recently retired Ash a couple of years ago, and then those new characters. I do plan to watch the new show. My nephew is in love with Pokemon. I mean, in love with Pokemon, and I honestly kind of want to watch the new show because it's more of a anime format than the original Pokemon was, from what it looks like. Now, I could think it's too kiddish and probably not watch, but I'm mildly interested. I saw the first episode and I'm like, it has possibilities, but I don't think Pokemon, because of the friendliness nature of Pokemon, I don't think it will ever be top 100 for me or whatever. But we'll see. I'm playing. I'm gonna check it out and take a look. But without further ado, let's get to the reaction. I'm gonna make a prediction now because I know these characters inside and out. I think Yu-Gi-Oh wins, and I think if he doesn't win, there's some bull going on. Now, let me tell you the reason why. And we'll see if they change my mind throughout. And I'll make a final prediction before the battle starts, alright? Yu-Gi-Oh! His dual monsters have less attacks, but they're more powerful attacks. I can't think of a single Pokemon in the 1,000 Pokemon they have now and that can stand up to a Blue Eyes White Dragon attack. Okay? Let's be real. An Exodia attack. Egyptian Guard card attack, right? I can't think, and there's even more powerful cards than that, but I can't even think of a Pokemon that could even withstand any of that. Now, you have Mewtwo and Lugia, which could, maybe withstand one attack, and then they attack again, and it's over. I think Mewtwo's the only Pokemon on the planet that could even put up a fight, to tell you the truth, against any of the ones I mentioned. Pokemon have a lot more varying attacks, but they're a lot weaker attacks. Now, they could take down several dual monsters, like, the Guardian Elf, Jinzo, if they caught Jinzo unawares. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Dark Magician Gurk could be taken down, theoretically, too, by, several Pokemon. I do not know, why they would think... Dark Magician would have to be overwhelmed, okay? I just don't know why they would think that Pokemon overall could defeat dual monsters unless there was a swarm of Pokemon. And then I could see the Pokemon taking down some of the stronger dual monsters, but I don't see it overall. Alright. That's my reasons why, guys. Also, Yugi and Ash have kind of the same spirit, but there's two Yugis, the spirit and the puzzle, and Yugi. I feel like double team attack versus Pikachu and Ash. I'd rather have the King of Games than Pikachu. I'm sorry.
Right, Pikachu?
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Fly!
Alright, let's see what they say.
Ash Ketchum versus Yugi Moto.
The biggest question from the playground. Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
I'm not gonna lie, it's not the biggest question on the playground. Back in my day, even though Yu-Gi-Oh was a Saturday morning anime, which we all thought was cartoons at the time, just saying. And so was Pokemon was an everyday event. Pokemon was 3:30 every single day. But what was I going to say? That wasn't what Pokemon was always pitted against. Pokemon was really pitted against dual monsters. It was Pokemon and Digimon. Digimon was a complete ripoff that turned out to be some kind of, cult phenomenon. And I'm one of the original Digimon people, too. I remember when Season 1 came out, and I was watching every day just to see what would happen. But Digimon and Pokemon were always compared to, and rightfully so. They were pretty similar.
Our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out
Not
who would win
100%
a death
similar, but pretty similar.
This is a big episode. Just look at how long it is.
It is.
Thanks to our
I
sponsor,
didn't even look
Mad
at how
Mushroom.
long it was. How long are we got? It's 30 minutes. I feel like it's one of the longer ones. I feel like there's been longer ones. I could be wrong. We're going to let them play the sponsors, as always. It's
For helping us
good
make it
for
happen.
them. So.
Yeah, go check out Mad Mushroom's newest game, Night Swarm. It just
I know
launched,
some
and it's
people
all about
skip
action.
the
Collect
thing, but if
companions
I'm
and claim your throne as vampire
if I'm
lord
gonna
in this
react to
survivor-like
the content-
and roguelike RPG, double the life.
If I'm going to react to their content, I should definitely let them play the commercials. So we'll rewind real quick because I was talking through
Mad
some of that.
Mushroom's newest game, Night Swarm. It just launched, and it's all about action.
Collect companions and claim your throne as vampire lord in this survivor-like and roguelike RPG, double the life.
Each run is another step on your journey to wipe out hordes, find new followers, unlock new quests, and look cool while doing it. Look at that gear.
Night Swarm is on Steam now and 15% off for a limited time.
Not gonna lie, it looked like something I would play 20 years ago.
Hello there. Welcome to the world
Not now, I don't have enough time for that stuff.
of Pokemon.
All the kids get their first one at age 10. If you don't sleep in like Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
Ash won
Yeah, somehow Ash overslept, and he couldn't get Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. Squirtle and Blastoise are my favorite Pokemon of all time, by the way. But he couldn't get the 3 starter Pokemon, and he had to get like a really bad-tempered Pikachu. It's really funny that they don't make sure that they have enough Pokemon for the kids. They live in Pallet Town. What else are they doing? I mean, Professor Oak studies Pokemon, so wouldn't they have like a backlog of Pokemon? I'm just saying.
Wanted to be a Pokemon master, though he didn't really know what that meant yet.
How about taking down your rivals to be the very best, like no one ever was? Better than Gary and his
I
dumb...
was about to say that. It's a very popular theme song. Be the best there never was. Dun dun dun. To train them is my real test, and to train them is my real test. No. I have to sing the whole song to get the lyrics right. I know the song, but I have to start from the beginning, and then I can say every single lyric. But I'm sure most people can. And I'm not going to sing the whole song for you guys.
Well, Ash knew he'd find his answers at the Pokemon League tournament.
So Oak hooked him up with the electric mouse, Pikachu, and went, "He's your problem now, stupid."
Pikachu was a lot. The new duo had a rocky start, but after
To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. That's what it was. That's what it was. I remembered. I just sang the song in my head while they were talking.
an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
25 seasons, over 1,200 episodes, and the cornerstone of 2000s culture. Ash spent decades as a
go back. I saw something that was important.
2000s culture.
Right here. This card. I have this card. This card was... so Pokemon trading game, I was one of the original collectors, and my collection was actually very expensive, but it all flamed out in a fire, or one of the insurance people misplaced it, or it was stolen while they conducted the fire, you know. I don't know what happened to them, unfortunately. There was, my old family house set fire. All my stuff was taken from my room when they, caved in the house, and, and I ended up getting an Xbox I never owned, and some stuff back, but my cards I was never seen again, whether they burned up, was sent to someone else, like the Xbox was sent to me, or whatnot. I just don't know what happened to that huge collection I had. It's super sad. But anyway, this was for the Pokemon trading card game, and this was for the very first Pokemon movie that came out. I remember watching it, and I got this card because I was one of the first people to see the movie. They only had so many. But yeah, this is like the Aztec Mew card or whatever. I always called it Aztec. I don't know what it's actually called because it was not allowed to be played in the game. It was a promo card for the movie. I don't know if that ever changed, but...
Ash spent decades as a 10-year-old on the great Pokemaniac journey.
We should note, we are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which often differs from the original games that inspired it.
Ash is equipped with...
True, the original games that inspired it, Ash takes no... I was going to say no prisoners because it sounded cool, but that's not the case. Ash, red or blue, whatever game you played, or yellow, whatever game you played, that's what he's called. And he becomes the #1 Pokemon trainer of all time. And you fight him in the sequel games, Silver, Ruby, and Crystal. Ash is the final optional boss, basically, but he's called red or blue or yellow depending on what game you play.
Tons of Pokeballs and an all-knowing Pokedex. That's also a Pokemon. But in a fight, Ash usually chooses Pikachu. Give the yellow red enough voltage and you'll regret it. Even ground types that would be immune to electric attacks in the games can't stop what this Pikachu dishes out.
Yet somehow Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity.
Yep.
Over time, Pikachu learned Volt Tackle, Electro Web, Electro Ball, and
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! The perfect attack for OHKOing flamboyant thieves and air balloons.
I wonder if they're going to use Ash's full arsenal of 6 Pokemon. I feel like that would be a lot, but the video is long again. If they're going to do that, then they would have to give Yugi his deck. Which actually, Yugi would have more monsters than 6 in his deck. So
Looks like they're blasting off again.
so clearly the anime doesn't follow the game rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on Swellow, who, you know, is vulnerable to lightning.
But somehow they used thunder as a super armor. He even learned how to deflect attacks by just spinning really fast. Whee!
Speaking of fast,
they do some things with game mechanics. Weaknesses and stuff really come into play here. What you could say happened in the anime right there is Pikachu wasn't using its lightning to zap, but in order to create an armor around the bird, Sparrow or whatever the Pokemon was. But weaknesses are used in the anime, for sure. Water Pokemon's weak to lightning and stuff like that. It's definitely used.
Pikachu has intercepted lightning, but Quick Attack increases that speed even more.
And his Iron Tail really pairs well with Ash's offensive style. The guy plays crazy, opting for big damage over stalling.
Ash's style is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
As the great philosopher
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that. That sounded funny.
put it, if it works, is it still stupid?
Ash and Pikachu's bond is magnetic and brought them new allies, Misty.
So I didn't see every Pokemon episode up to Ash's retirement. I was a big Pokemon fan for 10, 12 years, and then I kind of stopped. His retirement was, 5 years ago or something, so I'm sure there's some things I haven't seen from Ash. Brock and Misty, I remember very well. Dawn, kinda. Like, Brock and Misty were the OGs.
Serena, just to name a few.
Oh,
Underneath
yeah,
the
Serena
stubbornness
was the one he kissed, right? I think something like that. But anyway, I think that's Dawn right there. But yeah, as you go more and more, I'll know less knowledge on it.
Misty bikes, they are loyal friends.
Just like Ash's Pokemon. They're not just collecting dust in a shiny hunting box. Ash's League ID won't let him carry more than 6 at a time, but if he needs them, they'll all come running.
Water types like Squirtle and Lapras are key in seafaring fights, and Ash can combine their water attacks with Glalie Ice Beam.
One time, his Weasel got frozen while using Aqua Jet, which is fine. Now he's using Ice Aqua Battering Ram.
Grass types like Bulbasaur and Torterra induce status effects and heal with Synthesis.
But Sceptile's a menace. Yeah, so you got a big, scary Darkrai. Eat this Leaf Blade, Smeargle victim! Or that's what I would say if Tobias did an action replay of frickin' Latios. Give my man a win.
I'm not gonna lie, I never cared about that Pokemon. I just thought it was weird.
4 kids?
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't
Yep,
write
4 Kids, I remember seeing this every day.
the show.
They just get me heated. Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my revenge, and Incineroar. Haha!
Ash had a
The only reason I know that Pokemon, the one that this Pokemon right here, is this Pokemon was in Smash Bros.
Ash had a fiery passion for reaching the top ASAP, but Charizard wasn't on board. Pursuing pride over packs,
Charizard.
Ash lost
Charmander was such a cutie. Charmander,
the
who
Burning Force for
cares?
the trees and fumbled the Indigo League.
But Charizard is a cool Pokemon. I just don't like how small the dragon is, but the flame on the tail is such an interesting concept.
Harsh lesson, but one he needed. Ash started bonding with Pokemon at a deeper level, and that friendship motivated.
I'm not gonna lie, when Ash lost against the Indigo League, the way he lost, it didn't sit right with me as a fan of the show, and it still doesn't sit right with me. Now, I know why they did it, to make the show go on longer and he learned something or whatever, but Ash lost in such a weird way.
Them to dodge light speed moves like Solar Beam and Psybeam.
Charizard came around too. He's the last one you want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary, Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
This normally would not work in the game or whatever, as long as the Pokemon are evenly leveled or whatever. Blastoise would win. Also, did a death battle a long time ago between Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur, and I 100% agreed with it. My Pokemon won, I'm not gonna lie. But Blastoise outlasted, so Charizard was aggressive and went after Venusaur after trying. Charizard first went after Blastoise, but after Blastoise defended itself and Charizard wasn't getting anywhere, Charizard went after Venusaur because Venusaur is weak to fire. And Blastoise just kind of waited for Charizard and Venusaur to, Charizard to win, and then the tired Charizard was not fast enough to dodge Blastoise, and Blastoise won. It was a really well done fight, and I agreed 100% with the outcome because I think that's how it would actually happen. This right here is this Ash being Ash, even though his Pokemon's weak to water, winning. Thinking outside the box. They don't allow you to do that in the game. Some things are different, for sure.
Seismic Toss! The people's elbow of Pokemon. Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders. The Pokemon world is wild.
But
Ash's
Blastoise's
Pokédex
shell is
spells it out.
harder than
Vanillix causes
boulders and
blizzard.
does not melt
Magikarp
like
leaps
that.
over mountains and into space. Dusknoir pulls souls into the spirit world.
Oh, and Pikachu cleared a storm as wide as an island. Gotta catch 'em all. Surfetch, Butterfree, Heracross, Scraggy.
Oh,
I can
the
rock
Poké
Palpatine,
Rap.
Torkoal, Snivy.
With new
No,
region,
no lie, I showed my nephew. So we went to Disneyland about a month ago now, and I showed my nephew the Poké Rap for the first time, and now he can't stop watching it. It's great.
soar new flying types like Pidgeot. On land, Ash has physical offense like Melmetal and Crocodile, and Gibble will drop Draco Meteors on anyone.
I don't know
but
about
mainly
Pokemon.
Piplup.
You want physical? Look at Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a ton. Oh, and
I
this
don't know
huge
that one
log
either.
that's basically a whole tree, he chucked it like it was nothing.
Oh, also, I did know about Ash's Pokemon strength. There's a lot of memes about it and stuff too. Ash Ketchum's strength is unreal.
Ash can choose his own hands.
Remember,
and
he's a 10-year-old boy.
he wants, and he does a lot. Maybe his secret is watching the Minnesota Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO.
That would make no one strong. Minnesota Vikings. Pff.
One cut it
Be a Cowboy fan. Suffer with me, everybody.
in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr. Mime back home who mind-boggles
If you suffer being a Dallas Cowboy fan, you become stronger. You become stronger.
you with Reflect, Light Screen, and Psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime, the stepdad who Ash caught in a Pokeball and brought home. Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life force that interacts with souls and links.
Okay, so I don't know anything about this aura stuff, so he could maybe make his Pokemon stronger, but I know nothing about this. This is some anime superpowers going on here.
Ash with Lucario.
This Jackal excels at CQC and shoots steel beams and aura spheres. And
Oh,
with
the
Mega
Pokemon
Evolution,
can use
Lucario's
aura, so that's why. I do know that Pokemon, by the way. I just didn't care enough to find out more about him. I have seen this Pokemon. It's a very popular Pokemon.
power surges enough to defeat champion Cynthia's Garchomp.
A Mega would have been handy at the Safari Zone when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros.
I'm not gonna lie, the Safari Zone. So many memories in the old Pokemon games about the Safari Zone.
And he keeps hugging them. Ash, they're bulls.
Ash genuinely loves his little guys, but boy does it suck to see him lose the Pokemon League over and over again.
Not gonna lie, that's the main reason I fell out of love with Pokemon is this like loss streak that Ash has. I'm gonna be happy even though I lose. Whatever. By the way, you learn a lot more from losing, but you should never be okay with losing. There you go. That's my personal opinion.
Kid, just turn the hat backwards and lock in.
Ash's strength is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better than anyone. With Greninja, Ash learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him into Ash Greninja.
It comes with a huge power increase, but there's a
What is that? What is that? I don't understand, guys.
catch. Ash shares Greninja's pain. A small price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir.
I feel like if Pokemon was real and you had this award that linked you guys together so you can feel those pain, it would be instantly outlawed. These are children.
And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's Pokemon and teamwork get along like rice balls and jelly-filled donuts. They save the world.
Let's not kid ourselves. Pokemon are weapons of mass destruction, so a lot of this would be outlawed.
From Lysander, who tried to kill all life. They fought the giants. The Reggie kind, not the New York ones. Who halted Reggie Gigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the terraforming primal forms of Groudon and Kyogre.
Yeah, don't get me started on Alon.
Not gonna lie, everything they said so far, I'm still going with Yugi.
Did everything right, but no! Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times. How does Blast Burn?
I did see that blackened Charizard before. I'm not sure if it's controlled. I'm not sure if it's like soul powered through aura or whatever. But I've seen that. I actually saw a fight. My nephew was watching it, and I sat down and watched the fight. Didn't know what was going on,
Get
but
your type charts right, 4Kids.
Boomstick, 4Kids weren't even around anymore when this aired. Regardless, after his loss at Kalos, Ash traveled to
yeah,
Alola
4Kids is gone. It was a long time ago. Gone.
and beyond to train. And thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar Gigantamaxed.
I like Gengar. Gengar is great, but
with G-Max Terror.
Gengar's like a
Swallows him
giant
up.
Gengar
I bet
now.
it smells
So it's not
nasty
even an
in there.
evolution.
Ash
He's
and
just a
Pikachu
bigger
also
Gengar.
scored a buff with their Z move.
They used to
All
have
I
like
need is-
in the games. They used to have like shiny Pokemon. They also had bigger than normal Pokemon too. So I'm sure they incorporated it
a
in the
Power
show.
Ring, some JoJo poses, and Thunderbolt will
JoJo
evolve
pose.
into
10 million volt Thunderbolt. This Rainbow Lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked.
Okay, so it's
Absorb
like Hyper
electricity?
Beam from
Cooked.
Metroid?
Fused with an Ultra Beast? Cooked.
Ash journeyed so much that monsters from another dimension are nothing to him. Naganadel is a poisonous sniper, and Solgaleo is basically
Monsters from
Sun
other
God,
dimensions.
a legendary Pokemon whose Sunsteel Strike lights up the universe.
Ash got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact, when Ash and friends band together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time. And Dialga
Roar of
literally
Time,
controls the
interesting.
concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But it all started with Pikachu, so it was gonna end with Pikachu. In the Tournament of Champions, and Alon, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally, after
I feel the same
3,000
way.
years, we're free.
I'm not gonna lie, this is hilarious. Tournament of Champions. I might have to go and watch that to see Ash's last go around. I think I want to see that. But this looks cool. But I don't know why the other guy's in there if he's not important. But that's
And
okay.
Alon, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally, after 3,000 years, we're free. 4Kids, let my boy win. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I have the
best,
same
and he had
criticism.
no-
That's why I stopped watching Pokemon and stopped chilling with Pokemon. Is that Ash never won when it counted. Never. But I guess he did here. And I'm sure when I heard that he was being retired, I heard a year before he was being retired that he would be. And I was all like, he's going to finally win. And I was thinking in my head, I would laugh so hard if he lost. That's the way he goes out, guys.
Regrets, now free to hand over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Okay,
Ash
that's the new.
realized that
That
him,
those
a
trainers
Pokemon
were
master, was
the
someone who-
new characters that
Now
I
free to hand
saw.
over his torch.
That I was, she was like the main character. She's like really shy or whatever. I saw the very first episode, and that was
Torch to
about it.
new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So he and Pikachu threw a stick in the air and walked away it landed, because in the world of Pokemon, the journey continues.
Yeah, I'm sure Ash has come back in episodes or done some things in Pokemon. I'm not sure, but I think he has. If he hasn't, he will. Ash is not gone. He's just not the main character anymore. But I could see Ash coming back and people cheering and stuff like that for like cameos and maybe even like fights or whatever.
If you want to travel the world like Ash or look as rad as Yugi, then we've got the threads for you.
This battle is sponsored by Quince.
You'll like this. A bunch of Death Battle staff have owned Quince stuff for ages, so we know it's legit.
Quince makes it easy to look sharp, feel good, and find gifts that last. From Mongolian cashmere sweaters to Italian wool coats.
By the way, the guy in the sweater is this guy talking right now.
Up without the luxury markup.
Nice! This is totally a Kaiba fit
Whiz.
right here. Just gotta pop up that collar.
Quince makes the essentials every guy needs. Denim, chinos, down jackets, wool top coats, and leather styles built to last, just to name a few.
Each piece is made from premium materials. Oh, and by cutting out the middlemen and traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. So get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince.
Don't wait. Go to quince.com/deathbattle for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/deathbattle.
Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/deathbattle.
Many a theorist have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt.
Here we go, you do.
What was the secret to such a glorious...
Now, whether I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon more, I think I like them both the same at different times in my life. So that's kind of a wash. I only think that dual monsters are way more powerful than Pokemon. Honestly do. I'm still going with Yu-Gi-Oh! If that's the best that they gave me of Ash Ketchum, I'm going with Yu-Gi-Oh! All the way. For sure.
Civilization.
Time travel? The divine hand? Aliens? Nah, they were gamers.
Egyptians played games with sorcery. These magical ceremonies punished dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
No, Wiz. They were banished to the Shadow Realm.
No, Shadow Games get someone banished to the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Game is like a duel, and then the loser gets taken to the Shadow Realm. Those are the Shadow Games.
Wink.
Sadly, the way of the Shadow Games was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle. It's said the one who solves the puzzle would pass judgment on evil. And in the modern day, Yugi Muto reassembled it.
That's because the spirit of the puzzle is the Pharaoh.
And wished for a friend.
Yugi,
It's very Egyptian
turn
based,
that jam
guys.
up. Yugi was a shy kid that helped run his grandpop's game shop.
But little did he know that completing the puzzle would link his...
I love the title King of Games. I use that title so much, like during high school and stuff. I was like a video game like legend, okay, and I was all like King of Games.
spirit to an ancient pharaoh.
Yami, always willing to lend Yugi a hand, and always on demon time while doing so. He's anime Jigsaw. Yami wants to play a shadow game.
Whether it's griddle air hockey, Mario Party with chloroform, or the game that would take his world and ours by storm, Duel Monsters.
It's a summoner's war. Time to send monsters to the graveyard and take your foe down to 0 life points.
When Yugi's grandpa was kidnapped by the...
I'm not gonna lie, Yami's a lot better than what they described. Yami is actually a pretty benevolent guy, and he lost his memories at first. So he knew he was the pharaoh and everything, but he didn't realize that like all his past and everything. It's a journey of 200 plus episodes to like figure out his full past and stuff like that. Yami is not he never wants to play a shadow game first. It's always the people that want to go after him that wants to play the shadow game. So I feel like that's a false representation just a little bit.
Range CEO Seto Kaiba, Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how. Playing a children's card game.
Oh.
And for his
So I remember when these came out, everyone bought them. Oh, where is that?
Kaiba was given a penalty game.
Deranged CEO Seto Kaiba.
Where is it?
Yugi knew it was time to knock him down the only way he knows how. Playing a
Okay, so this right here, I had this. It took me weeks to get it because it was always sold out. I had to go to Toys R Us every Saturday to see if they had one. And I tried playing with my brother on these. He bought one too. And they never worked 100% great or anything. But the holders here, like, let me use the cursor here. The holder here would hold the card with clips right here. And the cards wouldn't fall off or anything. It's just, it wasn't like the show where, you know, the monsters came up. So it was kind of silly to play with. It made some noises and stuff like that. But I had this... till that fire, I actually still had it, and it still worked. But yeah, this toy was like all the rage, and it was selling off the shelves like hotcakes. Yeah, this brings back cool memories for me.
children's card game.
And for his L, Kaiba was given a penalty game. Lose or cheat against Yami at your own peril. With the puzzle, Yami can punish you in some seriously messed up ways. Illusions of being set on fire, swapping your soul, or the infamous Mind Crush.
The Millennium Puzzle does far more than force hallucinations. It brings monsters to reality, forms barriers, manipulates probability.
It's not the only Millennium item to do so. The reason why the puzzle is special is because the spirit of Yami, but also it has powers of its own, which is just like every Millennium item, although the puzzle seems to be the most powerful out of all of them and the most versatile. But there's a bunch of Millennium items, like Pegasus had the Millennium Eye, there's the Millennium Scepter, there's the Millennium, a whole bunch of other things, right? And they all go together, they are a set. But the puzzle seems to be the most powerful and versatile one.
And seals away spirits.
You can't buy this. It and 6 other Millennium items are juiced up by ghosts.
Despite Yami's retribution, Yugi wasn't aware of this darker half. Yami had amnesia, so he didn't know himself either. But after a run-in with enemy Millennium Ring user Dark Bakura and some seriously hardcore LARPing, Yugi and Yami learned each other's shtick and made the dynamic duo.
With friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey, Yugi and Yami were ready for anything.
Because Yugi...
Joey, I find this really funny because as a kid, I didn't understand this type of storytelling, but Joey was like the benchmark. If someone could beat Joey, which Joey lost a lot, by the way, but if someone could beat Joey, that indicated to the audience that they might be a match for Yugi because Joey got really good, but he would still lose, and it's really at this point that they use him as like a measuring rod like they do with Kakashi and Naruto. Joey Wheeler is the measuring stick in Yu-Gi-Oh! So Joey does become very competent later on and everything, and it's cool to see his growth, but he's not the reason why we watch the show. But if someone defeats him, then it pumps up Yugi and all this stuff. They used him mostly for storytelling in this.
had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps for setups. Oh, and Exodia... Oh, there they go.
Okay, if Yugi...
So Exodia at the beginning of Duel Monsters, and yes, I had all 5 pieces of Exodia at one time. And I used it, and I probably, in all the duels I played, I probably got Exodia like 2 or 3 times. Like, it was really hard to do. There's cards to bring out Exodia and stuff, but you have to like stay alive trying to like get Exodia out, and I believe it got banned later. But the thing about it in Duel Monsters, there was something called the Heart of the Cards, where Yami and Yugi can like manipulate the cards with their heart in order to get the cards that they need. That doesn't happen in real life. Okay. Oh, Dark Magician card. I got one of the very first ones, the Dark Magician card, to ever come out too. And I still have that deck. I still have the Dark Magician deck, minus that special Mirror Force card. So, I still have that Dark Magician, and I have like 3 different types of Dark Magicians, like rare ones in that deck. But anyway, I think that's the point I was
So
trying to
good.
say.
Why isn't it the meta? Put me in, coach. Face my 2,000
It's
card deck.
No
Don't
way.
be too quick to judge. Yugi's a very clever strategist. His
Summon Skull was such a great card early on. 1 sacrifice monster, 2,500 attack. Like, Oh my goodness, it was a great attack card to get out first. Oh, Crest of Dragon, look at that. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In 20 years, by the way, guys. And Pokemon cards was, what, closer to 30, right? So, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Was almost 30 years. It was... Yeah, Yu-Gi was early 2000s, right? When both of these animes were new, I know Pokemon was 1997. When both of these animes were new, I was one of the first watchers to ever watch them. Okay, so these were very early cards. Curse of Dragon was actually in the Yugi deck.
L works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible cards.
Yeah, cool
That was
story,
Jinzo.
Wiz, but what's he gonna do about the
Jinzo,
three blue eyes?
Jinzo, when he came out, was such a powerful card because he could eliminate all your opponent's traps, and it was great. So Jinzo was the one that just got blasted. Let's see if...
Strategist. His style works best at maximizing the use of so-called terrible
Jinzo, right here. Such a powerful card when he first came out.
cards.
Yeah, cool story, Wiz, but what's he gonna do about the three blue eyes Kaiba's got
That
aiming
was
at
a
his
nightmare
dome?
to
Simple.
try to summon.
Summon the monster card Karibo and have it multiply. With a 1,000 strong meat shield, a dragon's breath is a gentle breeze.
Well, okay. Didn't
I
know
remember.
Yugi had that dog in him, but I'm about brute force. Buster Blader.
Again,
and
the
Celtic Guardian
ritual
are sick
summonings was tough too. Celtic Guardian, I remember
nasty
him.
swordsman. Summon Skull shoots bolts of lightning, and the giant soldier of stone can destroy moons.
Time Wizard's better. It's a living
Oh, I
clock that
love Time
fast-forwards
Wizard.
or rewinds a local area of time, turning monsters to infants or wizards into wise sages.
Speaking of wizardry, you can't have a Yugi deck without his right hand, Dark Magician, and his apprentice, Dark Magician Girl.
Yep,
Both
so
are
Dark Magician. It's really funny that they say Dark Magician Girl is his apprentice, because there was actually a card which I have in my Dark Magician deck, or three of them actually, called Dark Magician Apprentice. And if they get 3 spell tokens on them, they can instantly summon a Dark Magician. So I think they're a little bit wrong on this. I would have to re-look at the backstory of Dark Magician Girl, but there's actually a card called Dark Magician Apprentice. So I don't know about that. Yeah, 2 of my favorite cards of all time, Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician. Dark Magician's my favorite. Dark Magician Girl is linked to him, and also a very close second if you want me to separate them.
Masters of dark magic, and Yugi often hits them with the damage redirecting magic cylinder. Now that's thinking with portals.
There's support monsters too. Catapult Turtle is a bot with a cannon that literally launches other monsters. And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords
Oh, I
of Revealing
remember
Light,
that.
which immobilizes monsters, they brought down an
Also,
entire
Swords of Revealing Light. I love that card. I'm not sure if it's banned anymore or anything, but it's a great stall card. I had one in my deck for sure.
fortress. Wait, that's not how the card game works. Is he cheating?
Well, we're prioritizing the manga and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real-world card game.
For sure.
Yugi also has tons of spell
No
cards.
one knows how to play the real card game correctly. Not gonna lie, Yugi rules and everything is the most debated card game rules on the planet.
Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a time skip.
Monster
and
Reborn
Pot of
got
Greed
banned
lets
one
Yugi
time,
draw
I
2
heard.
more cards, like Pot of Greed, which lets him draw 2 more cards.
Pot of Greed
like-
got
If
banned
things
too,
get
I
dicey, he
believe.
has more trap cards to level the field, like Dimension Sphinx, which reflects damage directly back at the opponent's life points.
And if his monsters and life points get wiped, he can just press Ctrl-Z with Mirage Ruler to get them all back.
Pair these cards with Yugi and Yami's teamwork, and nothing could stand in their way. Not even the game's own creator, Pegasus.
Get this, Pegasus can read minds, so
Pegasus is not even... So he made Duel Monsters into a card game, but he also didn't start the game. As they showed earlier, it was the Shadow Games originally, and they would summon monsters with sorcery in order to fight on their behalf. And that was the start of the game. Pegasus was somewhat controlled. I'm not going to get into it for you guys. But he was at best tricked to make this card game based on those ancient duels and rituals. So the spirit of the cards are actually inside the cards and stuff like that.
Duel, Yugi and Yami kept swapping souls.
Or I said the
Freaky
spirit of the
Friday
cards, the
style.
spirit of the monsters and stuff like that. Like, these are not normal cards, even though he, makes mass copies of them, sends them out, people buy them. They are unwittingly playing a sorcerer's game, especially if a shadow game is invoked. If a shadow game's not invoked, it's pretty harmless, but it doesn't mean that the spirit of the cards are not still in the cards.
Trusting each other to pick up on the strategies they left behind, and the mind reader was stumped. Yeah, they cheated.
No, Pegasus was reading their minds. Regardless, Yugi and Yami are an excellent dueling pair. Yami trusts Yugi to improve on his plans,
Correct.
while Yugi expects Yami to be his bolder half.
They're not just smart. These card-slinging geeks are somehow expected to be fit enough to dodge lasers, resist getting their souls ripped out, and
That's
survive attacks
true.
from
They
duel
were pretty
monsters.
fast.
Even the most
Oh,
common duel monster.
This is one of the few animes that had a sequel show afterwards that did not feature Yugi or Yami as the main characters. And it was actually really good. It took place in a dueling academy where they're learning how to do. This guy, I believe his name was Jaden. But yeah, I saw the sequel and watched all. It's like 181 episodes, if I remember correctly. It's been 10 plus years since I've seen it. Maybe 15. But yeah, it was really good. I recommend it if you like the original Yugi. It really stepped up. And it was slow at first, but it really stepped up. And you really end up liking it. And at the very end, Jaden fights Yugi. And I thought it was a great way to end the sequel show.
attacks from duel monsters. Even the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
And all of this power culminated in Battle City, hosted by Kaiba Corp.
Because
Battle
Kaiba
City was
ran-
like season 2 or something of the anime. Battle City came really fast. That's where the dual disc the toy that we saw earlier, that's when it became popular. And Battle City, I believe, is the start of the Egyptian god cards as well. Yeah. So.
He wanted that salty run back against his rival.
Salt only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the
I
3
remember
Egyptian
Merrick.
god cards to
Oh,
take him
yep,
out.
same.
These cards were Slifer, the Electric Dragon, Ra, the God Phoenix, and Obelisk.
I'm not gonna lie, Obelisk was my favorite because I really liked Kaiba growing up, but I like Yugi more now that I'm older, and Cypher the Sky Dragons is really cool, but I had an Obelisk because I was such a Kaiba fan, and Kaiba had Obelisk, and Merrick had Ra, and Yugi had Cypher.
who strikes with the power of infinity.
This was a different ball game altogether, but Yugi was starting to stand on his own 2 feet.
So Yami and Yugi kept dueling on in a battle city that never wants to end. Or stop bullying Joey. But to claim
I'm
the
not gonna
Egyptian
lie,
gods,
that is
Yugi and
the
Yami
way
had
it
to
was.
face them in duels, pulling off some
Although
ridiculously high IQ.
getting to the finals and seeing like the finals every Saturday morning, it was crazy exciting. Like crazy exciting.
plays.
When battling Slifer, they used a handful of weak cards to create an infinite combo of attacks that went past the god's limits.
And later, Yugi combined Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl's magic into Black Burning Magic, promptly defeating
That was fun.
Ra.
This ain't new for the magicians. In the movie Bonds Beyond Time, they did something similar against Paradox. It's kinda crazy that together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier cards aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a
No, they're really not. But the anime took some liberties with everything. I'm not gonna lie. I still don't think they beat Pokemon. I don't. Pikachu can beat Lugia if Ash needed Pikachu to beat Lugia. Or Mewtwo. You know what? They didn't even talk about Mewtwo at all. Like, wait a second. Isn't he still the most powerful Pokemon? I know a Pokemon fan still, and he tells me that Mewtwo is still the most powerful Pokemon. Am I wrong about that? They didn't talk about him at all. Alright.
sentient black hole, planet alignment moved solar systems, and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity
Yeah,
field
like
that
I said,
spawned
this
an
is,
entire universe.
But
This
at the
is,
top would be the great evil god Zork, who showed up to plunge
Yeah, this
existence into the
Pokemon
realm of
already
darkness.
lost in my
It was
head.
time for Yugi to finish the puzzle of who Yami really is.
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy.
I'm gonna
Wow.
predict that they're also gonna do like the tag team element, Yami and Yugi versus Pikachu and Ash. Like how good those things are. Also, Yugi is older. Yugi's like almost 20 or something when this show begins, and Yami is 3,000 plus years old, and so Ash is 10 and Pikachu's like 2. I don't know. Pikachu's probably like 5. I don't know.
Which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will duel monsters into reality,
Yep.
even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in the heart of the cards.
Yep.
I knew it! He's been cheating all this time!
Yes.
He doesn't just make up rules, he's stacking his deck!
Not at all. For Yugi, drawing the card he needs isn't just luck, it's an actual skill that he developed. It's even expanded in following series like GX and 5D.
Yeah, they're right. They do explore the concept in GX, which is the continuation that I was telling you guys about. Now, there is a bunch of other spin-offs, like there's a dual monster with motorcycles. I didn't watch that one. I watched like one episode and I was like, nope, not for me. But I believe Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is the first spin-off of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was super well done. And yes, they do work on like reaching for the heart of the cards and stuff like that.
Okay, well, I'd be the king of games too if I could just decide I have a royal
I
flush
get what
every
Boom's.
round.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
agree.
Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past, his multiple lifelong bonds,
Yeah.
and his real name, Atem. Claiming his place as the ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti, the creator of light.
She's the ultimate duel monster who banished Zork and all of his scary darkness for good. The epitome of, screw you, I win.
No kidding, for Harakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's multiverse with that same light. Judgment had passed. Across many duels, evil was vanquished. There was only one more thing left to do.
A post-game boss duel between Yugi and Atem.
Their farewell was both climactic
It
and
was such a
bittersweet.
good fight.
Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
Even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros. Okay, it should have been me, not him. I'm sorry I called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and passed the torch to future duelists. He would be remembered as the greatest duelist there ever was.
Yep.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife to rematch Atem. Goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can buy you a sweet rocket ship.
There will always be another story, another duel, another game. And you won't find yourself a better opponent than the king of games.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Battle
that
of
gave
the
me
Millennium
chills.
is about to start, but we wouldn't be able to make
So I
it
did
happen
disagree
without
with some of
help
the
from our friends
assessments
at
on
Raycon.
both
That's right,
Ash
this
and
message is sponsored by
Yugi,
Raycon.
but
If you're looking for a holiday gift,
I'm still
Raycon's
going with
essential
Yugi, guys.
open earbuds should be at the top of your
Yugi
list.
all the way.
Regular earbuds block out everything, but these beauties sit so perfectly in the ear, you get both real clear sound and also what's happening
Like I said,
around
we
you.
will watch those
Exactly what
commercials.
I need when I'm out lawnmower racing, or bike riding, jogging, whatever normal people do.
We're happy that Raycon is a longtime sponsor of our show, and for good reason. They have over 3 million customers who are getting premium sound quality for half the price. And if you don't like your earbuds, they have a 30-day guarantee, so there's practically no risk.
They're lightweight, last up to 8 hours on one charge, and with multi-point connection, I can wirelessly hook them up to multiple devices. So they're super handy.
The essential open earbuds are here for the holiday season, and they're selling fast. Raycon audio products are up to 20% off this holiday season. Just click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/deathbattleopen to save on Raycon audio products site-wide. Order by December 15th to guarantee delivery by Christmas, because great gifts shouldn't show up late.
All right, that's the commercial.
All right, the combatants are
Ooh,
set.
I'm so
We've run the
excited.
data through all possibilities.
Before we start, let's lay some ground rules.
We're treating this as a real-time fight, much like typical battles in the Pokemon anime and duels later on in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. And given that the rules of Pokemon and duel monsters are clearly incompatible, we'll allow them to summon anything that's reasonably available to them.
Oh, that is so cool. How long is this battle? Okay, I do like the rules. Look at how long this is. Okay. This is going to be crazy. I might pause, I might not, and then I'll talk about it afterwards if I don't pause, but I'm going to be, like, highly invested in this, so. Yugi. Going with Yugi. Seems like it's going to be a long battle. This is the old Pokemon, like, thing. On the Game Boy. There we go. They got music for this too.
You okay, Pikachu? This 4-on-4 is tricky. Hang in there!
You have Spirit, but I have Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack. And
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I am pausing, I guess. This is a stupid lineup. Like, this is stupid. Like, no, you have Dark Magician, and then you have the 3 Egyptian God cards. It's over. But yeah, this is a stupid lineup. Like, Yugi has so many other choices. Then Celtic Guardian at 1400, and that's a good one. But this guy's only good at defense. Like, he's like 2,000 defense or something, if I remember. I don't remember his actual defense. And then you have 2,500 over here. But I used to have him in the early days of my deck. I took him out because he was not that good.
Lightning Blade and Excalibur to boost my attack. And I set one.
He also has an elf that has 2,000 defense. And I feel like that guy has 1,700 or something. Like, the elf would have been a better choice. But
face down to end my turn.
Whoa. Okay, guys, it's our turn now. Pikachu, throw him up with quick attack.
they're
Everyone
using
else, smash
turns.
him up.
Celtic Guardian, it should not be in the lineup at all.
Great job.
Dark Magician versus Pikachu. That makes sense.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You forgot
trap.
about my face down card.
Trap card.
Rise, Dimension Space.
Oh, I love that. How can Ash win if Yugi just punches trap cards out there?
Oh, I get it. Good thing we brought them all, right, Pikachu?
We brought them all.
Mean them all.
If we caught them all, we brought them all.
Charizard, I choose you!
Oh, there we go. That's more of the lineup I expected. Celtic Guardian, of course. They put one in there that they could down. I like Celtic Guardian, but the card is not that good. Breather. Why isn't he multiplying Breather and just creating a wall? He would be untouchable. Oh, so Egyptian guard cards. Is that Cypher? Yeah. There we go. Oh, is that Drainator? Well, he's just on chairs now. Oh, he's using the Millennium item. Gengar save. What happened to Cypher? There's no way Yugi loses.
Don't worry, it's my turn now. I just need to believe in the heart of the cards.
Okay. There we go.
Who's that Pokemon?
Araxi, goddess of light!
Yugi did not need to
Flash burning magic!
summon her to win.
Araxi,
This is not that close. Oh, Swords of Revealing Light. There you go.
Pikachu, let's finish this. Together!
There's no way.
10 million volt Thunderbolt!
I don't care. There's no way.
You activated my trap card, Magic Cylinder! With it, I'll send your Thunderbolt
Or
back
Mirror
to attack
Force.
your light points directly!
I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought Ash might pull this out, and I was gonna say bull on this video, but no. This is it would not be this close, but this is the result. Yes. Unless
That was an awesome duel, Ash.
does he break out? Nope. That's the thumbs up at the end of Yugi. Okay, so we win. Dude. KO. There we go. All right, I was right.
Childhood. Whiz quick.
Yep,
I need
I
your
was right.
tears. We can save him.
There's a lot to this, so let's break it down by experience,
I love being
strategy,
right on
and
things.
monsters. Starting with experience. Both Ash and Yugi have risen to the top, beating the best of the...
I pointed this out, even though they didn't point this out in the video. Remember when I said Yami and Yugi, or attempt, whatever his, like, we called him Yami for 200 plus episodes. I'm just calling him Yami. So Yami and Yugi have way more experience between them. Yami is 3,000 plus years old, and Yugi is like almost 20, and Ash is 10, and Pikachu is 5 at best.
and traveled all over the world.
But Ash traveled more, was in more tourneys, and saved the world way more often. And despite what people
True,
say,
but-
he wins a lot.
Even attempts stint...
So Ash wins against no names a lot. Ash does not win against anyone important a lot. So the thing about Yugi and Ash is, yes, it's true. Ash has saved the world a lot more times, blah blah blah. But Pokemon is a different structure than Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Had one overarching story, one great evil that was trying to destroy the world, using puppets for that evil and stuff. But I mean, they had one great evil. There was one big threat that was trying to destroy the world. Pokemon is a story that had like multiple parts in it without an overarching like grand tale like Yugi did. So the world had a lot more threats that were separated, like Pokemon 2000 and stuff like that, that were very separate events in the anime. Even though the characters could remember those events, it wasn't one narrative. They had multiple narratives. That's the only reason why Ash had more opportunities to save the world more times, not because Yugi just had less villains than Ash did. Less factions, we're gonna say.
As the Pharaoh doesn't tip the scale since he wasn't in charge for very long. Plus, Pokemon evolve over time.
The Pharaoh does tip the scale. I'm not gonna lie. The Pharaoh is 3,000 plus years old. Yami, even without his memories, had an instinct to be like very powerful. Who cares if he wasn't Pharaoh that long? He literally he's born with some innate abilities, and he has experience.
And figuratively. While Yugi's deck is obviously adjustable, the cards are unchanging, unable to grow like Ash's Pokemon.
So Ash wins in experience, but when it comes to strategy, he's a wild...
I'm calling bull on that. I don't think Ash wins as far as experience. I do not. Absolutely do not. I can see their point. I disagree. Strategy needs to go to Yugi too.
Card.
He's skilled at improvisation and using the environment to win. Even machines cannot comprehend his tactics.
But the same goes for Yugi. Gotta remember, Yugi and Atem's teamwork is second to none. They're masters at exploiting weaknesses.
Okay,
setting
looks
up
like they're
tricks,
gonna
and
give it to
surprising
Yugi, so I'm
foes
not
with
gonna
so-called
really
weak
talk about
cards.
this.
Both could likely adjust to each other's unpredictability, so a Dark Horse-style win was unlikely.
But Ash's secret weapon is his bond with his Pokemon, boosting their power. I'm not just talking about Pikachu. His power of friendship invented an evolution for Greninja. That's crazy. Ash's trust in his Pokemon knows no limits.
Silly as it may sound, Yugi trusts his deck in the same way. The heart of the cards is real, and Yugi is determined to support his monsters with spells, traps, and buffs. Look at his duels with Merrick and Paradox, where he bolstered his weaker
The
cards
strategy
to take down
in dual
God.
monsters is
With
crazy
Ba
at
and Ka,
times.
his bonds with his cards manifest
Although-
them into reality, not so dissimilar.
I'm not gonna lie, because the rules are so crazy in dual monsters that no one knows what the real rules are of the game or what it was meant to be or whatever. As far as in the show and in real life, I'm not gonna lie, it's the most complicated, colluded card game of all time. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and it's still going on somewhere, but it's so hard to understand versus like other card games. I play Weiss now, but I still have my Dark Magician deck if anyone wanted to duel me eventually. But yeah, I feel like the strategy for Yu-Gi-Oh is much better. I'm sure Ash got better at strategy as he went, but he was not, like, he had to get scolded by Brock and Misty all the time and stuff like that.
From Ash Greninja.
Yeah, Ash has aura, but he never mastered it. And specialties like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax, while awesome, only work with specific Pokemon.
And since Ash focuses on offense far more than support, Yugi could control the pace of the fight with cards like Swords of Revealing Light and Magic Cylinder.
But I know some of you are asking, what if Ash threw hands? The kid's strong enough to chuck trees and lift baby gods. Just punch him, man. Well, Yugi's similarly tough, and the Millennium Puzzle can make shields, steal ghosts, cast illusions, and mess with minds. If Ash actually tried to punch him, it'd be Mewtwo all over again.
It's a close call, but Yugi takes the edge in strategy.
So it all comes
I
down
see, I don't
to the
see that's
monsters.
close.
Yugi had a slightly larger pool of monsters, but Ashes can clear out island-wide storms, fight terraforming beasts, and are stronger
The monsters
than
are
the
way
black hole
stronger than
summoning
dual monsters.
Gardevoir.
Not even
However,
close. Not even
Yugis can
close.
rain down meteors, compete with larger black holes. And
By the
even
way,
mid-tier
like I said, I'm not a Pokemon hater. Pokemon was my childhood. I love Pokemon to pieces, but in this matchup, Yugi has all three of these. It's not close. And it's not because I love Yu-Gi-Oh more than Pokemon. I love them both the same in different points in my life.
scale to Glow Neos, destroying that relativity field with a universe. And Herakti created Yu-Gi-Oh's whole multiverse, surpassing even Solgaleo's Sunsteel Strike and Dialga's Roar of Time.
And Yugi had more than just monsters on the field. Ash's strength was also his weakness. His power was evenly spread, reliant only on his remaining Pokemon.
If Mr. Mime faints, no more Psychic Barriers. If he lost Lucario, no more Mega Evolution. And so on. The longer the battle went, the less Pokemon Ash had. And he did not have a reliable way to bring them back. He doesn't carry revives on him, and even then, reviving Pokemon in the anime is entirely different from the games. Meanwhile, Yugi had cards like Mirage Ruler and Monster Reborn that could instantly recall powers he's lost.
And he can, bend fate to draw whatever card he wants. And we didn't even cover them all. Really, Yugi's deck has no pathetic cards.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yugi's versatility and power swept Ash's options, giving his monsters the lead. He just needed the right moment to knock Ash stone cold.
That was a good attempt at a pun, Wiz. You might not think it's Pharaoh, but Ash got Yugi owned.
The winner is Yugi Moto.
They tried to make that. I guess we'll watch what's coming up.
Death Battle will be back in 2026.
Oh,
But right
okay.
now, you can check out our brand new
Okay, so what I was gonna say is, I feel like they made it closer than it should have been, for sure. I really think Yu-Gi-Oh! Had this one in the bag from the start of the video. I predicted it. I knew it in the top of my head, as being familiar with both animes, if not expert level at both animes. And there was no way Yugi was going to lose, and to have them be so close, I think it was... I don't agree with them being close. Now, for the animation of them being close to trying to make it exciting and stuff, totally fine. But when they went to the strategy and everything too, Bailey! Yugi barely wins. No, Yugi wins 99 out of 100 times. Just saying. And I don't care about Ash's smash powers, alright? Okay, so that is my reaction video. Make sure you check out Death Battle, like and subscribe. They're a great channel. I may not agree with everything they put out. Like, there's some battles that I know in the past that I've disagreed with adamantly on. And there's some other ones like Goku vs. Superman, which I will back up till the end of time. I think they got that one right. Alright, thank you so much. Have a great day.